Hey all, my name is Kurt and welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. Hey, let me just tell you something. Matt from ADHD Whiskey has got my mind scrambled. I just can't keep from thinking about this whole lists and everything else of what whiskeys would you keep if you can only have 5. Of course, our last video we reviewed the 5 bourbons that I would keep, if those are the only 5 that I was able to keep, and we went over that. And the only reason I did that is because it was just too mind-blowing to try to take in everything that we have here and try to choose from different varieties of whiskeys. So I have got to get this out of my mind. I know Trenton is kind of like, I don't know if we want to do this or not, but I don't care. We've got to get this done because it's going to drive me nuts. You guys have had some fantastic comments, and this is what's kind of prompted me on to do this. You guys, a lot of you have listed all different kinds of whiskeys in your 5 that you'd have to keep, and I thought that was marvelous. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do today. This is what I'm going to do. We can do this today. We can get it over with. That way I can be right in the head. My wife will be happy because I'm going to be okay. But I'm going to give you my 5 Scotch whiskeys, if I can only keep 5 out of the entire bar. And then I'm going to go over a few other ones. Please don't miss to the end, because at the very end I'm going to give you my absolute favorite whiskey in the entire bar here at SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. So let's get started. Yeah, I know. Oh, and this is going to...
Out of all the bottles, you're going to pick one.
Yes, and
wow, I'm excited to hear this.
Trust me when I tell you, this could get exciting. So don't miss it, whatever you do. You want to get started, Trenton? Trenton's favorite stuff, Scotch, right, buddy? It's your favorite. No. I love it though. It's good stuff. Let me get you my first bottle. Hey, if I only had 5, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to include Springbank 12-year cask strength. The stuff is fabulous. What can I say? It's higher proof. It hits you hard. It's a little bit peppery, a little spicy up front, a little orange. Hits you with that caramel, Trenton. Gives you that caramel toffee action. It's really beautiful stuff. I'd have to have it. I just would have to have it if I could only have 5 Scotch. Next, thanks to everyone out there when I did the 12-year Scotch show. This bottle was probably recommended, Trenton, more than any other bottle in any other video that we've done. Glen Moray 12-year. I had hundreds of people say, get this, get this, get this. And guess what? Y'all weren't wrong. This is so good, especially for the money. It's a little bit down, but don't you worry. There's another one sitting over there in my office ready to go. This one here, it has a beautiful texture to it. It's very creamy, and wow, it has a very thick and rich sherry influence. What an outstanding Scotch for the money. I'd have to have it. It'd have to be in the list. Next, here's another one. We've reviewed it a few times, but if I can only keep 5 Scotch whiskeys, this Ardbeg Uigeadail is going to be in it. I'm going to tell you that right now. You ready for this one, babe? We did this before, but glazed smoked meats. Glazed smoked meats. Now, hey, if I can drink a liquid that kind of gives me a little bit of glazed smoked meats flavor, I'm on it. Trent just threw up in his mouth back there, but I'm all over it. It comes in after that glazed smoked meats, honey, with a little prune and fig action. Oh, it's just, what a beautiful drinking experience. I love that bottle. Now here's one that's a little different for you. This is an independent bottler. This is Archives. But in this bottle, they selected Deanston 21 year that's non-chill filtered. And it's about 104 proof if my memory's correct, so the proof is just a little bit higher. But wow, this one here, even though the proof's a little bit higher, this one's kind of like it is more of a delicate pour, but I really like this one. This one has some honey and caramel tones in there, and in kind of a light layered action. Very beautiful pour. I love this one. I would definitely keep this if I can only have 5. Last but not least, you might be surprised. I don't know, you may or may not. I don't think we've ever reviewed this. Glen Moray Signet. As you all know, if you've watched many of my videos, I have kind of a little bit of a heartstring for Glen Moray. He was my very first Scotch, the 10-year. Very first Scotch I ever had down here at the bar. Well, I got this one, and it's up there a little bit. I can't remember the price of it. I think when I paid for it, it's probably close to $150 to $170, something in there. But they've got some very deeply roasted barley in this particular Scotch, and wow, you get some really nice chocolatey notes in there, along with a little espresso notes in there. It's kind of a deep and rich flavor tone, and I just love it. It's fabulous. So there you have it. There's my 5 Scotch whiskeys, if I can only keep 5, and that's an insane thing to even think about, but if I would keep 5, there they are right there. Now, to finalize my thought process, to get it over with, Irish whiskey. If I can only keep 1 Irish whiskey, pot still Irish whiskey is my favorite category of Irish whiskeys. There's so many good ones. There's the Spots, the Redbreasts. Honest to goodness, I almost picked the Powers 3 Swallow. What a great bargain and a great whiskey, but in the long run I picked Redbreast 15-year. Some amazing stone fruit flavors that come out of this particular whiskey. I love that one. Rye Whiskey. Hey, you see this, Trenton, over here? Rye Whiskey. I'm going to go back to this. Have you ever had a Rye Whiskey, Trenton, better than that one? I have absolutely not. And trust me, we got some excellent Rye Whiskeys coming for you that we've collected over the last couple of months. But this Jack Daniel's single barrel proof 2020 release, special release, I get that. And as you can see, there's not much left, but in the office I have, Trenton hooked me up, I have a full bottle left. So I've got one to replace this one, and that's it. That's all I have. But this is so creamy and rich. It opens up with your normal, the rye minty, rice spice type thing, but immediately rushes in with some beautiful, deeper caramel notes. It's just, I've never had a rye whiskey like that. I've never had a better rye whiskey in my personal opinion. Now, last but not least, I'm going to give you my absolute favorite whiskey that I have in the entire bar, and you may agree or disagree, and that's okay. But for me, I have this bottle right here, Hibiki 21 year. This is a Japanese whiskey. And honey, it's a funny story about this one. But I looked, I don't know, Trenton, how long did I talk about this bottle back in the day? It's a long time. This has been down here a little while for sure. And then, thank you, sir. And basically, it's expensive. Okay, that's, I guess, what I'm trying to boil down to it. Right now, if you look online, last I've checked a little while ago, they're like $1,200. Okay. I didn't pay that.
I just fell off the couch.
I didn't know. No, you didn't. I saw you. But I didn't pay that. But when I was looking, when I was really hardcore looking, and I just was having a hard time pulling trigger, they were $950. They were just under $1,000. And that's so much money, and I get that. It really, really is. But, however, I got it on sale online, honey. You ready for this? I got it on sale for $750.
Wow, what a bargain.
That was a bargain. Trust me when I tell you, I know it's a lot of money. I really do. And it's just probably one of those one and dones. But I'm going to promise you this. It's not, there's a lot of folks that say, I don't buy anything more than $30 and I'm happy with that. And I'm happy for you. God bless you. You picked a road, you stick with it. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So please don't ever think that I'm going to judge anybody on this channel for what they purchase and for the reasons they purchase it for. But for me, personally, this is going to be a one and done bottle, but I am thrilled that I bought this bottle. And that's what I have in this glass. I just have a little bit, and that's what I pour about a ½ ounce at a time. This truly is an otherworldly sipping experience. This is something, if you had the luxury to do it, if If you poured 2 ounces of this, I could sip this for an hour or so, honestly. There's so many layered flavors here. It's definitely a little malty. It's a little malty, but everything is just magnificently balanced. Honey, a little bit of floral, definitely some fruit notes in there. There's a little bit of some sherry casks going in there. But at the end, what's so impressive to me is you get all that kind of stuff, but then in the end, you get these very warm baking spices, and not heavy. It's not like a bourbon thing, but just a beautiful finish into a warm baking spice. It's just an unbelievable, fabulous pour, and I just wanted to share that with you. I really did. This is absolutely, for now, my favorite bottle of whiskey in all of SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. So, Trenton, thank God I got that out of my system, because in all honesty, Matt, thanks for handing out the challenge, but I'm going to tell you something, man. You drove me nuts with it. You really did. But I'm glad Trenton gave me the opportunity to get it out of my system. So that's all we have for you today. Don't worry. Next video, we're moving on to another category. But thanks for bearing with me on this one. I love doing this. I love putting this one together. I had a good time. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with me in the good old Basement Bourbon Bar. See you later.